Let's talk about this week in Star Wars canon for the comics. This week, only one Star Wars comic was released, Star Wars Annual Number 1. This was a standalone story and takes place between A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, as does all of the main Star Wars series. This comic featured Eneb Ray, who was a rebel spy that ended up infiltrating Coruscant under the guise of Imperial tax collector Rawrist Demo. So let's recap the comic.
We first see him attempting to extract money from a man's export business. Money the man can't pay. Demo is stern with the man, knowing he can't show any softness or the Empire might suspect something. But though he does think that, he does warn the man to stop talking when he begins to talk about the rebellion, showing a bit of softness. We've seen Imperials that would have hauled him away the instant he mentioned the rebels and the Empire being sorry. So Demo, even though he thinks he isn't, is showing a bit of softness. As the rebel spy leaves the man, he thinks that the rebellion has heroes, but he doesn't get to be one. He does what needs to be done. Essentially, he does the dirty work the heroes can't or won't do. Returning back to his home, he contacts Princess Leia, giving her the shipping and procurement data for the core sectors. Leia starts complimenting him, and he knows something is up. She reveals that anti-Imperial senators are about to be executed. She needs him to extract them before their execution, and he gets a little sassy with the princess since he's going for this whole snarky anti-hero thing. And here again he makes a point of implying he's not a hero and he's done things, whatever things he needs to do to get the job done. At the prison complex where the senators are being held, he scales the walls wondering how many other rebel spies are on Coruscant. He's been told they're scarce, but he hopes that's a lie they tell him just in case he's captured. He knows, despite his skills, eventually they'll be able to torture the sensitive information from him, such as how many rebel spies are on the planet. What he doesn't know makes him safer. And we actually see this approach, which is smart, in other rebellion stories. It's a need-to-know basis to keep their secrets safe. Anyways, Eneb thinks he'd be surprised if there were even 6 spies on the planet. Why so few? It's a hard job. You have to have the strength of will to be as ruthless as your cover requires, to get the job done no matter what. He's really laying this "I'm a rogue willing to do any dirty thing to get the job done" on thick. He reaches the senators, freeing them, only for them to reveal that the Emperor is coming to the complex to watch the senators' executions. Eneb tells them to tell him everything. He again thinks he's not a hero, so it's lucky he's here. He locks up the Imperials in the prison complex, meets another undercover spy, and together they contact the princess, letting her know of the opportunity. He requests other undercover spies to the prison complex to take out the Emperor. The princess admits that if this plan fails, they'll no longer have any spies on Coruscant, and it is a huge risk. Our anti-hero tells her so was Yevon. Except we know Yevon was a success, and this mission won't be. Later, the Emperor shows up to the executions, greeting the senators and telling them a goodbye was in order after so many fond years. In response, 7 agents, yeah, he was surprised there was more than 6 on the planet, reveal themselves and start shooting. While trying to take out the Emperor, Eneb thinks there are people that will judge them for this. Political assassination is never acceptable, but he believes they'll sleep soundly thanks to what they're doing here. To stop someone as bad as the Emperor, you need someone willing to be as bad as he is. He's about to pull the trigger when the Emperor escapes to the top of the building. Eneb tells the other rebels to get everyone out and he'll take care of the Emperor. He chases after him. At the top, he manages to catch up with Palpatine and shoots him in the back, only to realize it was a body decoy and the real Palpatine is getting away on a ship. He jumps on the ship, taking more unsuccessful shots at Palpatine. Finally, the Emperor tells him to look behind him, and he does to see the building explode, killing all the rebels and senators inside. Then Eneb realizes he was fooling himself. There was never a chance. He's nothing like the Emperor. He's not even the same species of monster. Eneb falls but manages to land safely. He realizes that the Emperor had planned everything. He laid a trap so tempting the rebels would jump at it, the chance to take out the Emperor, and he came along just to watch them burn. He's so good in every way but ethically. In the end, Eneb admits he was naive and that he was a hero pretending to be a man willing to make hard decisions. The last time he makes that mistake, he leaves the planet on his ship.
Thoughts on this issue? It really started out strong. I was really excited to learn more about the rebellion and their spies and assassination attempts and everything that went along with that. Just all their little plans of trying to take the Empire down are always fun to learn about. And then they dropped the, oh, this is a Palpatine assassination bit, and I checked out just a bit, just a little bit. Because to me, what would have been a lot more fascinating is not seeing another rebel spy trying to take out Palpatine, but seeing their spy network on Coruscant or on any planet controlled by the Empire and how they worked and the little missions, like the little things they did to try to make a difference, and the chunks in the Empire's armor that they just chipped away at over and over again would have been awesome to see. We don't need to see these huge assassinations of Palpatine and Vader by random rebels all the time. It doesn't always have to be that big. Rebellions start by little sparks. A little spark can start a fire. Do little things, infiltrate the prison and get the senators out. You didn't have to add Palpatine in. And then maybe he works with another spy to do something else on Coruscant, or he turns someone in the Empire. There were so many other cool directions this comic could have went with. But I'm going to stop bitching about that and talk about what I liked about this comic, because there was a lot I liked about this comic, and I reminded myself that just because we know the end doesn't mean we can't enjoy the journey. So even though we knew Palpatine had plot armor and he wasn't going to be assassinated and the assassination attempt was going to obviously fail, we can still enjoy the story. So saying that, I really did enjoy how crafty and evil Palpatine is. He is the master of manipulation and PR, and I actually never get tired of seeing that. And I love, love, love after the rebels reveal themselves to not be senators and he says, "Oh my, rebels." That guy just loves being the bad guy. Or a good guy if you're an Empire supporter. But on the PR end, he really is the master. How perfect was his plan? Lure all the spies to one area along with your anti-imperial senators, blow them up all in one building, and then turn around and blame it on the rebellion. Terror propaganda works. We still use it in our own world. It's really effective. And Palpatine knows how to utilize it to keep people in line. Listen to his speech to his citizens. The senators were being transported to their long-awaited trial, where we are sure how they were coerced into betraying the Empire would have been revealed. But the rebels have no interest in truth, justice, or rule of law. They used these senators up and then discarded them in this act of shocking terrorism. The ruins are a testament to their monstrosity. It is hard to understand such senseless brutality. With propaganda like that, do you want to join the rebellion? They'll just use you up and discard you once they're done with you. They don't care about truth and justice and honor. They'll kill innocent people just to make sure that their secrets aren't revealed. But if you stay with the Empire that does value truth and justice and honor, and even if you betray us, we're going to give you a fair trial and let you explain yourself and figure out how those dirty rebels coerced you into doing something that you didn't want to do. We understand. With the Empire, you're safe. We would never do that to you. Lastly, on Neb, I actually really liked his character. I really liked how conflicted he was between who he thinks he is and who he thinks he has to be. And we find out that who he thinks he is, he's not really that person, and he realizes it in the end. And I thought seeing his struggle inside, even though he narrated the shit out of it, was cool to see, and I actually would enjoy seeing him in a future issue, maybe a standalone on his own, and seeing the things he's done, even though I feel like they kind of closed his story like, oh hey, he was this tough guy, he did these terrible things, and then he realized he can't be the monster that he thinks he is to get things done. He's not even in the same level as Palpatine, and then he realizes that he is a hero. He's not a sort of anti-hero or anything like that. So I think maybe they did bring his character to a close, but if they stretched it out a bit more, I think they could have actually gotten a lot more stories out of this guy. I don't know if they are going to do more stories about it. This is probably just a one-shot, but if it wasn't just straight assassinate Palpatine, oh look, I'm actually a hero, we could have gotten more plot lines from this guy, and I'm a little disappointed that we didn't. Maybe that adds to a little bit of my disappointment about this issue. Okay, so I did enjoy this issue. I did enjoy seeing the spies on Coruscant and them working together. It was really cool to see Palpatine, even though I wasn't excited about the assassination attempt, and how evil and crafty he is, and just his dialogue. It's so little dialogue, but man, is he just menacing. He's just an asshole, and that's what you expect in your villain. So what did this issue add to Star Wars canon? Well, we learned that the rebellion did have 7 spies on the planet of Coruscant after A New Hope, and then that the Emperor took them all out in one fell swoop. We also got more fuel for the Emperor being an evil scheming bastard bonfire, or if you're an Empire loyalist, you got more love and respect for a man that created a propaganda coup slandering the rebellion, permanently removing senators, and getting rid of the spies on the planet of Coruscant while being able to watch the devastation of what he'd done on a rebel's face. So what were your thoughts on this issue? Were you disappointed that it was another Palpatine assassination attempt? How did you feel about the rebel spy we were introduced to? Do you wish that he'd have more stories or plot lines? Besides that, make sure you come back for more Star Wars videos every week. Besides that, we have Game of Thrones videos, comic videos, and more.